Hey, you. Want to come to an even bigger ship?
Uh, the, 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 Perhaps.
You'll get more. You have more space. It's better. Look at that. Look at the small boat you're in, man. Look at my big boat.
Perhaps I will join your boat.
All right, sounds good. I need yes or no. Yes.
Yes.
Come aboard.
Greetings.
So you got on the boat, huh?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
I'm just Claggett.
How did you get here?
I'm the best. That's how I got here.
I came from a small boat.
Who?
A
Cares?
small boat.
Okay, it's my big boat. I'm in the big boat. I don't care if you turn this small boat.
What do you do here?
I'm the captain.
Oh. So you're in charge?
Yes, sir. Above everyone else.
But there's a real captain.
I'm the captain. I'm the captain now.
Okay.
One, go.
Why are you picking up trash?
I'm cleaning the
You're picking up
ship.
trash.
This
Are you picking up your life goals? Are you picking up what you want to be in life?
This is trash.
Huh? You want to be a captain, huh?
No.
Is that what you're picking up? Your ideas of
This
picking?
is for the betterment of
No.
the
You're picking up trash, which are your life goals, which are to become a captain, but you're never going to be a captain. So you. No. Picking up trash. No. It's trash. It's trash. Oh, that right there. Are your dreams of becoming the captain?
That's what you think.
No. It's the truth. Now what you have in your hand is trash. Your dreams are trash. It's mutiny. Look at this man. Where's Evan? Look at all these papers he has. All the letters. No. Don't speak. No. No, you're guilty. No.
Sir.
No.
You're guilty, man!
But
Guilty. Quiet. You don't deserve to speak. You deserve to speak. No.
Billy Bob, according to maritime law, I have to kill you. I don't think that it's just in this situation. It's just the law, brother.
God bless Captain Beard.
Man, Billy Budd, such a legend. He's gonna be missed.
Man was a god.
Man was a god. He helped so much on the ship. He was one of the best sailors I've ever seen in my 20 years.
Always doing work, helping the boat community, picking up trash.
And always making everyone feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
It's quite an untimely death.
I'll miss you.
I miss him too.
Hello, my name is Batman Keats, and this is my partner,
Robin Keats.
and we're here with an analysis of the original novel, Billy Budd. Now, the first thing that I'd like to go over is William Billy Budd. Obscure origin and of a limited social environment growing up. Billy Budd has an interesting pattern in terms of vocality. Now, what that means is he has a bad stutter. How does that influence his character in the story?
I think that it influences his character pretty heavily, actually, because mostly for the rest of the film, he's portrayed as a character who is very strong, very handsome, which is a lot of aspects that will come in handy later. But the stutter really kind of impacts the story because he can't have any vocal dialogue, which is kind of what this book is about.
Speaking of his stutter and his handsomeness, how would you say that impacts him as a character? Because for the most part, when we think of someone handsome, we think of someone who is actually present and has everything, and and is outgoing and athletic. How does that influence Billy Budd? Because he has everything except for the ability to actually show the kind of person that he is.
Unfortunately, the stutter really hurts him because later in the book, we have a part where he needs to be able to talk and defend himself, and he just can't do it because the stutter gets in the way way too much.
Originally, towards the beginning of the story, he denies a request to serve in a mutiny against his ship. And Claggart hates Billy because of this. Not just because of this one action, but because of his innocence and just the type of person that he is, a man who puts duty before anything else. How do you think that influences Claggart's growing hatred for him throughout the story?
I think Claggart's growing hatred was not existent at the beginning. At the beginning, he sort of appreciated that he was doing work, but at the same time, he also realized as Billy Budd was kind of progressing up the social ladder of the ship, he was moving down below, and he really was. Claggart was a very empowered character. He always wanted to be on top of his situation. He always wanted to be in control. And when Billy Budd was kind of taking that away from him, his hatred started to grow more and more to the point that there was a fight near the end of the book.
Now we move on to Claggart himself. Now, Claggart was a dark, demon-haunted weapons officer. Basically, he loved weapons, and he had that kind of violent persona throughout the whole book, as shown when he's completely hostile with Billy Budd, despite Billy Budd only having the ship's best interests at heart. His jealousy of him actually led to Billy's execution when he falsely accused him of mutiny. So, what do you think about that? Do you think Claggart was justified in any way with his hate, or do you just think that it was silly and jealous?
I think that Claggart was very... There are two sides to this coin. On one side, you can understand that Claggart has been in control of the ship for a long time besides the captain. He's been kind of empowered by his crewmates, and they kind of respected him. But at the same time, when just a random person coming into your boat and kind of taking over your position is the most liked person, that's got to do something negative to that person. It's like, it's not ever a good feeling to have your empowerment kind of taken over by somebody else, and I can understand where the hatred is coming from.
Well, Claggart was also relatively new to the ship, actually, and his joining of the ship wasn't really something that the captain even knew about. So it's not like he had a more present role. It's more that he was just, he wanted that more present role that Billy Budd kind of effortlessly was given because of his hard work and dedication towards the crew. And as a result of that, it just led to Claggart's jealousy growing to the point where it not only took him down, but it also took Billy Budd down in the end. Now, we go on to the man who actually caused a lot of things in the story, Captain Vere. Now, Captain Vere was a dedicated naval officer, and what he did is he had the moral code of just obedience and civil duty, and he wanted everyone on the ship to participate and do what they had to do. He sympathized with Billy a lot, and as a result, that also led to Claggart's anger growing. The captain also distinguished himself in many different battles, including the Battle of Gibraltar, which we'll call it, where he ended up suffering a musket wound. In his last moments, as he does die later in the novel, he speaks to Billy twice and basically tells him to keep following his path and be a good sailor, and that he's become rather fond of him. And when you really think about that moment, that kind of close connection between the two characters, like, what do you think really caused that? Like, Billy Budd might have that kind of nature by heart, but at the same time, is that really the reason the captain just likes him so much?
I think that there's more than that, but the primary reason is definitely because Billy Budd naturally is a hard worker and he loves to try and put his duties first. But at the same time, the captain also really respects that in Billy Budd. And I think he also sees himself in Billy Budd a little bit because he sees his own morals in a younger person, almost a protege, in my opinion. And I think that's a really important aspect of his affection towards Billy Budd.
Now, let's get more towards, we've analyzed the characters a lot, but let's go back into the story a little bit. So, a few distinguishing things happen in this story. Personally, when I read this book, while I thought it was beautiful, I thought it was a bit of a simpleton book because the innate meaning of it was kind of just there, and it didn't really have anything underlined. And I don't know why. I just don't know, like, what was the, like, I can't find the symbolic messages other than just Billy Budd being of innocence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Billy Budd being innocent was definitely the primary factor in this book, and I think that unfortunately that's all we really had out of the book. And speaking of out of time, that's all we have for today. Please tune in next time for another episode of Critic Review, and we'll see you all then.
Batman Keats signing off.